Hi there, and welcome to Porch Talk with Mary Pat. Today I want to address some issues about the COVID-19 and how realtors are affected and how Mary Pat's team is dealing with this. So I hope you will listen a little bit because I do have procedures in place that are compliant with the Texas laws, and I want to make sure that you know that. So I want to talk to you first about my sellers. The things that I have in place for a seller who is wanting to list their home. First of all, we discuss on the phone their needs, the terms of the contract, and we go over the listing contract. After everyone is satisfied with the terms and the procedures, then I send the contract over by DocuSign. If you have an email, which most people do now, if you have an email, then you can sign contracts by the internet. And this is really good for this time and place in our history when we do need this because we can't meet face to face. And I've been using it for probably 7 or 8 years anyway. So we discuss the listing contract. I send out the documents to you. You sign them, and then we go to the next step, which is that then we meet in person, and we're all ready then to get the work started on the steps to listing it in the multiple listing service MLS. So what I would do is come to the house, and probably we would walk through the house. I would do some measurements, and we would talk about staging, and I do have 2 hours of free staging if we need that for you to get your house ready for the market. And then I measure because I need to have each room measured. And then after that, I would have, if we did need to stage, then we might have a few days there for the staging part. And then we would have the professional photographer come in. And we would have, he would be in a face mask and do his job, not touch the home necessarily, just the home would be ready for photographs. And then I would be working behind the scenes with the photographer, and we would also, you would have everything ready. We would go outside and take the pictures there. And most likely we would have the home with a drone, and they would take the overhead pictures. So the next thing that we would have on the process of listing it would be putting all of this into the showing service. And I have a showing service that would contact you. We would give you at least 1 or 2 hours notice, and probably a 1 hour time frame where the buyers could come in. But when it gets on the MLS and it is active, then we have buyers that want to see it. And most buyers that would come in would have an agent, and I would want them to be pre-qualified. And I would talk to the buyer's agent and see about their pre-qualification letter, make sure that they weren't just looking at homes that maybe weren't in the area they wanted or in the price range they needed. So we would get a pre-qualification on that, and then we would okay the appointment. When the appointment's okayed, we'd probably have a 1 hour time frame, but I would ask you as a seller to turn on all the lights, to open the doors to the closet, to maybe have some cabinets in the kitchen open and maybe in the bathroom. So our ideal situation is for the buyers to enjoy walking through your house without touching things. Now, this is pretty strict right now in May of 2020. As the time goes on during the summer, we may have some restrictions lifted for us. But right now, this is my process. And so the buyers walk through, and when they finish, they leave with their buyer's agent. Now, at this time, I'm requiring face masks and gloves for the buyers that want to walk through. And if the buyer's agent does not have that, then I will leave some in your home for the buyers to come in and put on. So we also ask them to remove their shoes. So they would walk through, not touching, and then later I would get the feedback, and then we would go from there. Now, if we got a contract and a buyer came in, they're going to want to have about 10, probably 7 to 10 days for inspections. We have inspectors now that do wear gloves and do wear masks, and they know all the rules. So we would use someone that does know the rules and that stays in compliance with that. And so after we have the inspection, the buyer send over if there's any repairs that they would like to request. We discuss that, and then you make the decision if you want to make some repairs. That usually lasts about 10 days, and then after that we go into the contingency part of the contract, where during that time the buyer is working on their lender and with their lender, and I'm also in contact with the lender just to make sure things are moving right along. When we come to closing, I work with several title companies, and they have their protocol in place, and most will go to the card and have you sign your paperwork. Like in the parking lot of the title company. Some title companies want you to come in and you can mask up and put the gloves on and sign there in the offices. And then also about 3 weeks ago, I had my lawyer's title was handling that deal, and they actually went on site to the homeowner and did the signing there at their home. So we can work with you with what your needs are, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew that Mary Pat's team does have a plan in place. If you're ready to list your home, I know that maybe you've been reluctant to step out and decide, well, this is the time to do it, but I'll tell you, right now our inventory is low. And there are buyers out there that are moving, and maybe it's a little slower than it has been, but there's still people out there that want to buy a home that maybe are moving here, being transferred. Excuse me. So there is a need for listings right now, and I think that the market is good. If we put the home on the market at the market price, we have a pretty good chance of getting that. So just know that if you need any more information about my protocol during this COVID-19 about listing a home, and then I'm going to have a video about buyers buying homes. So right now I'm talking to you as possible sellers, and I would love to talk to you, chat on the phone, if you just want to see for sure what we are doing to make this work in this particular time in history. So give me a call, 214-923-3114. It's Mary Pat Elledge with Keller Williams Central, and I work in the Collin County, Dallas County area, and I do some in Fort Worth. So if you have any questions, be sure and give me a call. I'm always happy to take your phone call and to discuss. So thanks for coming today to Porch Talk with Mary Pat, and I hope you will make a comment below and hashtag Porch Talk with Mary Pat. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.